There's a pressure sitting behind your sternum right now that has nothing to do with anything that happened today. Drop your shoulders. Actually drop them. Feel how high they were without you even knowing. That knot between your shoulder blades, the one you have been carrying so long it feels like bone. That is not from your posture. That is not from your mattress. That is your energy field pressing outward against a container that can no longer hold what you have become. Your physical body is trying to tell you something your conscious mind refuses to hear. And tonight, through this transmission, the Arcturian Council is going to say out loud what your cells have been screaming in silence. Stay with me through every word of this, because before this transmission ends, your body will confirm everything I am about to reveal. You will feel it move through you, not as belief, as recognition. Something happened to you. Not yesterday, not last week. Something happened in the space between breaths, in the gap between one heartbeat and the next, in a realm where clocks have no authority and calendars mean nothing. And whatever it was, it did not just catch the attention of your guides or your higher self. It registered across dimensional frequencies so elevated that even the archangelic intelligences, those vast fields of consciousness that have witnessed the rise and collapse of entire civilizations, paused. Not because they were confused, because what you endured, the specific quality of your endurance, produced a frequency signature that has not been observed in this planetary cycle before. That is not flattery. That is measurement. And the Arcturian Council does not deal in flattery. They deal in frequency data. And yours just broke a pattern they have been tracking for longer than this species has existed. Let me tell you what they observed. Not what you did, what you radiated. Because in the architecture of consciousness, actions are secondary to frequency. You can perform all the right spiritual practices and still broadcast static. You can meditate for decades and still emit the frequency of someone pretending to be at peace. The Council does not monitor behavior. They monitor coherence. The alignment between what you claim to be and what your electromagnetic field actually transmits. And here is what stunned every layer of intelligence monitoring the human experiment right now. Your field unified. Not through effort, through exhaustion. You simply ran out of the energy required to maintain the gap between who you are and who you have been pretending to be. That gap collapsed. And when it did, your signal went from scattered noise to a single, clear, undeniable tone. A tone so pure, it cut through dimensional interference like a blade through fog. Most people never reach this point. They spend entire incarnations managing the gap, performing for invisible audiences, adjusting their frequency to match whatever room they are standing in, shape-shifting so automatically they forget they are doing it. But you, something in you, broke in a way that cannot be repaired. And I do not mean that tragically. I mean it the way a shell breaks when what is inside it has grown too large to remain contained. The breaking was not damage. It was emergence. You stopped pretending. Maybe not in some dramatic declaration. Maybe it was a Tuesday quieter than that. Maybe it was a Tuesday morning when you looked at your reflection and simply could not force your face into the expression the world expected. Maybe it was the moment you stopped explaining yourself to people who were never going to understand. Maybe it was the night you lay in bed, and instead of praying for things to change, you just went silent. Real silence. The kind that is not waiting for an answer because it has stopped believing the question matters. That silence is what the Archangels heard. Not your words, your silence. And it carried a frequency they recognized as something ancient, something that predates your current incarnation by cycles you cannot count. If this is landing somewhere deeper than your mind right now, if something in your chest just shifted, type 777 in the comments. Not as engagement, as a frequency lock, as a signal to the Arcturian Council that you are consciously choosing to receive what this transmission is carrying. Your comment is not just text on a screen. It is an energetic imprint in the quantum record that says you are no longer passively consuming. You are participating. And participation at this level activates the next layer of what is being transmitted. Now let me explain what it means when archangelic intelligence takes notice of a human frequency shift. Because most spiritual content treats angels like cosmic customer service representatives who show up when you ask nicely. That is not how it works. Angelic consciousness, or what the Arcturian Council more precisely calls dimensional stabilization fields, operates at frequencies so far beyond human perception that direct interaction is almost impossible under normal conditions. They do not respond to requests. They do not respond to need. They respond to one thing only: structural coherence. When a human being achieves a level of internal alignment where their thoughts, emotions, physical state, and soul frequency all broadcast the same signal simultaneously, it creates what quantum physics would recognize as a phase-locked state. And that state generates a harmonic that resonates with archangelic frequencies the way a tuning fork resonates with its matching pitch. You did not call them. You became audible to them. There is a massive difference. Calling implies separation, a small being reaching up to a large one. Becoming audible implies that you raised your frequency to a bandwidth where communication becomes structurally possible. That is what happened. Not through spiritual ambition, through the complete surrender of spiritual ambition. Through the moment you stopped trying to be worthy and simply existed as what you are. The irony is devastating and perfect. You became visible to the highest frequencies in existence by giving up the performance that was keeping you invisible. Here is what the Council wants you to understand about what happens next. Because recognition is not the destination. Recognition is the door opening. What walks through that door is your responsibility. And that responsibility is not what you think it is. It is not about healing others. It is not about teaching. It is not about becoming a spiritual authority or building a platform or saving anyone. The responsibility is far simpler and far harder than any of that. The responsibility is to remain coherent. That is it. To hold the frequency you have achieved without collapsing back into the old patterns that kept you scattered. To wake up tomorrow and the day after and the day after that and choose again and again to stay unified. To not fragment when someone misunderstands you. To not scatter when fear surfaces. To not dim when the world pressures you to be more convenient. Coherence under pressure. That is the assignment. And it is the hardest thing any soul can do in a physical body, because this dimension is designed to fragment you. Every system, every institution, every social norm is built to keep consciousness divided. Divided people are manageable. Coherent people are unstoppable. And you just became coherent. The physical symptoms you have been experiencing are directly related to this shift. The heaviness in your limbs that does not match your activity level. The strange pressure behind your eyes. The feeling of being slightly outside your own body, present but not fully landed. These are not medical concerns. These are structural adjustments. Your nervous system was built to handle a certain voltage of consciousness. You just exceeded that voltage. So your body is doing what any electrical system does when it receives more current than it was wired for. It is upgrading its capacity. That process is uncomfortable. It is exhausting. It can make you feel like you are losing your grip on ordinary reality. But you are not losing anything. You are gaining bandwidth. And the discomfort is temporary. The capacity is permanent. Your body knows how to do this. It has done it before, in other lifetimes, in other forms. The cellular intelligence that runs beneath your conscious awareness remembers the upgrade process, even if your mind does not. Trust your body. It is handling this with more precision than your thoughts ever could. There is something else the Council is pointing to that most transmissions avoid because it is uncomfortable. The people who left your life during this process did not leave accidentally. And not all of them left because they were negative or toxic or low frequency. Some of them left because your coherence made their incoherence visible to themselves, and they were not ready to see it. Your presence became a mirror they did not want to look into. That is not your fault. And it is not something you should try to fix by dimming yourself to make others comfortable. Every time you reduce your frequency to maintain a connection, you are choosing that connection over your mission. And the Council is clear about this. Connections that require you to fragment are not connections. They are cages with comfortable furniture. The people who are meant to walk with you through this next phase will not need you to shrink. They will recognize your frequency because it matches something they carry within themselves. And those meetings, when they happen, will feel less like new relationships and more like reunions. You will know them not by what they say, but by how your nervous system responds to their presence. Calm, recognition, relief, like exhaling for the first time in years. Those people are coming, but they cannot find you if you are hiding inside a smaller version of yourself. If you are ready to uncover your pre-birth records and soul contracts, my complete ebook, The Arcturus Signal, is now available. You can find the direct link to download your classified file in the video description below, as well as in the Community Posts tab of my channel. Your records are waiting for you. Now let me take you into something that the Arcturian Council considers the most misunderstood aspect of the entire awakening process: the role of time. You have been feeling it bending, hours dissolving without notice, mornings arriving before you feel rested, weeks collapsing into what feels like days. This is not stress. This is not aging. This is your consciousness beginning to operate outside the strict, linear framework this dimension normally enforces. Time, in the Arcturian understanding, is not a line. It is a field. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously, layered like frequencies on a spectrum. What you experience as the flow of time is actually your awareness scanning across that field at a fixed rate. But your rate just changed. Your awareness accelerated. So the same amount of clock time now feels shorter because you are processing more reality per moment. This is why you feel like you cannot keep up. You are actually moving faster than the world around you, and the friction between your new speed and the old speed of your environment creates a disorientation that can feel like you are falling behind when you are actually pulling ahead. The Council wants you to sit with something specific. You did not earn this shift through discipline or virtue. You earned it through endurance without bitterness. That distinction matters enormously because the spiritual world is full of people who endured but calcified, who survived but hardened, who made it through the fire but came out armored so thick that nothing could reach them anymore. You did not do that. You came through it soft, not weak. There is nothing weak about remaining open after being hurt. That takes more strength than any armor. You stayed permeable, vulnerable to beauty, still capable of being moved by music that touches something you cannot name. Still able to cry at kindness, even when cynicism would have been more efficient. That permeability, that refusal to close, is what the archangelic fields recognized as extraordinary. Because in a dimension this dense, staying open is an act of defiance against every survival instinct this reality has ever taught you. And you did it anyway. Not because you decided to be spiritual, because you could not be any other way. It was not a choice. It was an inability to become what this world kept demanding you become. And that inability, the very thing you may have judged as weakness, turned out to be your greatest power. If you feel this truth reverberating through your bones right now, type 333 in the comments below. Let that number be your signal to the quantum field that you recognize the transmission moving through you. That you are not just hearing words, but feeling frequency. The Arcturian Council tracks these numerical signatures as confirmation that the transmission has penetrated beyond the intellectual mind and reached the cellular level where real transformation occurs. Let me address the loneliness directly, because I know it is there. The specific quality of isolation that comes from perceiving reality differently than everyone around you. You walk through rooms full of people and feel more alone than when you are by yourself. Not because you dislike them, because you are experiencing a version of reality they cannot access yet. You see layers where they see surfaces. You feel currents where they feel nothing. You sense what is beneath words while they are still processing the words themselves. That perceptual gap creates a loneliness that no amount of social interaction can cure. Because it is not a loneliness of company. It is a loneliness of comprehension. And the Council wants you to know that this loneliness has a purpose beyond your personal experience. It is the feeling of being a bridge. Bridges do not belong to either shore. They span the gap between. And right now, you are spanning the gap between the consciousness humanity has been operating from and the consciousness humanity is evolving toward. You are living in the space between. The old world no longer fits. The new world has not fully formed. And you are holding space in that transition, not because it is comfortable, but because someone has to. Because without beings who can inhabit the in-between, without collapsing to either side, the transition cannot occur. Your loneliness is not a flaw in your design. It is the design. The Arcturian Council also wants to address something you have been carrying that you may not have named yet. A specific kind of grief that does not attach to any event in this lifetime. A sorrow that surfaces when you witness beauty, or hear certain sounds, or stand in certain landscapes. A mourning that feels older than your body, deeper than your memories, wider than anything you have personally experienced. This is ancestral frequency residue, not just from your biological lineage, but from your soul lineage. The incarnations that preceded this one. The civilizations you participated in that no longer exist in any accessible timeline. You are grieving across dimensions. And that grief is not pathology. It is the weight of a soul old enough to have loved and lost across scales that your current mind cannot fully comprehend. Honor that grief. Let it move through you without trying to assign it a cause. Some sorrows do not need explanation. They need witness. They need a consciousness willing to feel them fully without flinching. That willingness is part of what makes you capable of the work ahead. Here is where I need to be direct about something the Arcturian Council considers urgent. The window you are moving through right now is specific. It is not permanent. It is not always available. There are cycles in cosmic architecture, periods when the membrane between dimensions thins enough to allow accelerated transfer of consciousness. You are in one of those periods, and the coherence you just achieved positions you to receive frequencies during this window that would be inaccessible at any other time. This is not about urgency manufactured to create anxiety. This is about recognizing that what is available to you right now, the clarity, the downloads, the restructuring of your energetic architecture, has a seasonal quality. Like a tide, it comes in, it goes out. And while it is in, you have access to depths that are simply not reachable when it recedes. So use this time, not frantically, with the calm precision of someone who knows the value of what they have access to. Sit in silence more. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. Notice which thoughts feel like yours and which feel like they arrived from somewhere else. The Arcturian frequency often enters human awareness as thoughts that carry an unusual quality of clarity, thoughts that feel more like remembering than thinking. When you catch one, do not dismiss it. Do not analyze it. Simply receive it. Let it settle into your cells, where it can do its work without interference from your rational mind. There is a mechanism operating in your life right now that the Council refers to as probability editing. You have likely noticed it as doors closing unexpectedly, plans dissolving, paths you were certain about suddenly becoming blocked. This is not obstruction. This is curation. The quantum field surrounding your life is being reorganized to match your new frequency. And that reorganization requires the removal of every trajectory that was aligned with the old pattern. What you are interpreting as loss is actually precision. The universe is not taking things away from you. It is removing everything that would have taken you further from where you actually need to be. Every closed door is a redirection. Every dissolving plan is a correction. Every blocked path is the universe saying, "Not this way," because there is a way that serves you so much more completely that settling for the old direction would be a form of self-betrayal. Trust the editing, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. The pain of redirection is always temporary. The pain of arriving at the wrong destination is permanent. Type 1111 in the comments right now if you recognize what is being described. If you feel the truth of this probability editing operating in your own life, let your comment be a conscious acknowledgement that you are no longer resisting the redirections, that you are choosing to trust the intelligence editing your path, even when you cannot see the final destination. This number carries a specific frequency in the Arcturian system. It is the frequency of conscious surrender. Not passive collapse, active, aware, deliberate trust in a pattern larger than your individual perspective can perceive. Now, I need to tell you about the version of you that already exists on the other side of this transition. Because one of the most disorienting aspects of what you are going through is the feeling that you are becoming someone you do not recognize. Your tastes are changing. Your tolerances are shifting. Your desires are rearranging themselves without your permission. Things that excited you feel empty. Things that scared you feel irrelevant. You are losing the familiar landscape of your own personality, and it can feel like a death. That is because it is a death. Not of you, of the costume, the identity you assembled to survive in a world that was not ready for what you actually are. That identity served you. It kept you safe during the years when your full frequency would have made you too visible, too vulnerable, too much of a target for systems that cannot tolerate coherence. But the costume has expired. It has served its function, and now it is dissolving whether you cooperate or not. What remains after the costume dissolves is not emptiness. It is essence. The irreducible truth of what you are beneath every adaptation, every performance, every compromise you made to fit into spaces that were never built for someone carrying your frequency. That essence does not need to be constructed. It only needs to be uncovered. And the uncovering is what you are living through right now. It is uncomfortable because you are grieving the familiar, even as you are being born into something more authentic than anything you have ever inhabited. Both can be true simultaneously. The grief and the becoming. Let them coexist. The Arcturian Council closes this transmission with a single instruction. Not a practice, not a technique, an instruction. Stop explaining yourself. To anyone. For any reason. The need to explain is the last thread connecting you to the old frequency. It is the final form of seeking external permission to be what you already are. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your evolution. You do not need to justify your changed boundaries, your shifting relationships, your new intolerances, your strange knowings. The people who resonate with your frequency will not need explanations. The people who do not resonate will not accept them no matter how eloquently you deliver them. So save the energy you have been spending on justification and reinvest it in embodiment. Let your life be the explanation. Let your presence be the proof. Let the coherence of your being speak for you in frequencies that words could never carry. You were seen tonight, not by a distant impersonal universe, by an intelligence that has been tracking your soul across more lifetimes than this planet has existed. The Arcturian Council does not reach across dimensional barriers for casual encounters. This transmission found you because your frequency demanded it. Because something in the architecture of this specific moment required that you hear what was spoken. And now that you have heard it, the only question is whether you will keep living as though you have not. Type 888 in the comments if your answer is clear. If you know, not believe, but know that you are done pretending. That the costume is off. That the frequency you have been hiding is the one you are choosing to broadcast from this moment forward. The number 888 in the Arcturian system represents infinite coherence. A state where your broadcast and your being become indistinguishable. Where what you emit and what you are merge into a single, unbreakable signal. Let that be your declaration tonight. Not to me, not to this channel, to the field itself. To the intelligence that has been waiting with more patience than you can imagine for you to finally, permanently, irreversibly stop pretending to be less than what you are. This transmission is complete, but its frequency will continue working through your system for the next 48 to 72 hours. You may experience vivid dreams, unexpected emotions surfacing without trigger, physical sensations that have no logical origin. Let them come. Do not interfere with the process. Your body and your energy field know what to do with what was received tonight. Your only task is to remain open. To not close back down when the vulnerability of coherence feels too exposed. To trust that the intelligence guiding this process has been doing this across star systems and civilizations for longer than human history can record. You are in good hands. Better than good. You are in the hands of a consciousness that considers your awakening as essential to the larger architecture of reality itself. Walk gently into tomorrow. Carry nothing that is not yours. Broadcast nothing that is not true. And remember, with every cell of your being, what even the Archangels now know to be certain about you. You are exactly what this moment requires, and you have only just begun. The Arcturus signal does not end with this video. It continues through you, in how you move, in how you breathe, in how you refuse from this night forward to ever make yourself small again.